They've come from all around Africa and have been fighting hard to make the final cut. And here they are. The coming days are sure to be a tough challenge for some of these young men, but this opportunity can be life-changing.
So every day is a chance for you to prove if you are or not worth it of the opportunity.
NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Hello and welcome. It's time for another interesting package of
Everything Music.
Angelina, you dey cool in my temperature. If you call, I go come deliver.
This is Talking Movies.
In times of old, the world was full of wonder.
Welcoming you to your weekend for today.
Arise, oh compatriots. It's time to use our voice.
Beyond Six Packs.
Bills.
Pay the bills. Keep paying my telephone bills. Pay my bills.
Welcome to Gallery.
Me and my paddies.
London for what?
London for medicine.
Medicine for what?
Medicine for coffee.
Are you sickness?
To our illness. Welcome to Gist Zone.
All right, my name is the Eselusien Wego One. Ona nyokoko nyonyo. Welcome to Abuja.
In your speech here, you really emphasize funding. I will try and see within our limited resources what we can honestly do for you.
President Buhari assures support to victims of human rights. Top security and intelligence chiefs visit Sokoto and Katsina in response to recent spike in bandit attacks.
Gone are the days when women are sit at home and doing nothing.
She is doing well to us. We are thanking her.
Plus, more support on skills development and empowerment in Adamawa and Borno states. This is NTA Network News. I am Kenen Ima Aburike. We are live in Abuja. Adeola Komiakara joins from Lagos and Sadia Umaru is in our Sokoto studio. Welcome. President Muhammadu Buhari has described as fulfilling and reassuring the unprecedented efforts by the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI, towards enhancing self-reliance in critical sectors of the nation's economy. This was at the presentation of some military equipment produced by the agency in collaboration with the Nigerian Machines Tools Oshobo as part of its reverse engineering and backward integration drive. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
Through a PowerPoint presentation, the Executive Vice Chairman of Naseni, Professor Muhammad Sani Haruna, made public the newly produced military equipment, including mines-resistant ambush-protected MRAP, armored personnel carrier, and medium-caliber machine gun already tested by the Nigerian Army. This, he explained, is in furtherance of efforts at enhancing the local production of military equipment in line with Nigeria's national defense policy, as well as the Executive Order Number 5, signed by the President.
The choice of these weapons has become necessary because of its efficiency, effectiveness, and the fact that the troops are familiar with this and they will be able to do maintenance where necessary.
The armored personnel carrier, on the other hand, contains heavy-duty 300-horsepower engine that can move up to 120 kilometers per hour. It has the capacity of carrying 10 crew members and is fitted with 9 firing ports and GPS system for navigation, amongst other specialities.
We propose that these equipments are to be produced at the Nigerian Army Special Purpose Vehicle plant in Bauchi. Currently, it is the only armored vehicle production plant in the country. Your Excellency, the original manufacturers are willing to transfer all the technology for doing this locally to us. These vehicles are of the same specifications as the ones recently sourced from Jordan.
Local production of the equipment, Professor Haruna said, will lead to achieving an independent and sustainable military industrial capability, increasing their firepower, enhancing their combat readiness, and reducing over-dependence on other countries for defense needs.
Your Excellency, we are kindly requested to approve the implementation of these projects as part of National Defense Strategy. We are requested to kindly direct the procurement by the Nigerian Army of at least 5,000 of the 12.7 mm machine gun, 500 units each of the MRAPs and APCs in furtherance of the Strategic National Defense Initiative.
President Muhammadu Buhari commended Naseni for being alive to his responsibilities, promising government's continued support in furtherance of its self-reliance and local content policy.
Seeing your capacity or capability on the ground, I will wait for the reports of the visits of the service chiefs and the Minister of Defense to your factory. I would like to practically see it and perhaps visit the factory and see our requirements and capacity to produce. Again, what is the cooperation between you and DACON? I think we have to work together, bearing in mind our capability within the country.
Established in 1992, Naseni has a vision to create an enabling knowledge-driven environment for local mass production of standard parts, goods and services required for the nation's technological advancement. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
The National Human Rights Commission will be adequately supported in the execution of its mandate of safeguarding the human rights of the Nigerian population, assisting victims of human rights violations, and helping the government in the formulation of policies on human rights. President Muhammadu Buhari gave the assurance while granting audience to the Governing Council and management of the National Human Rights Commission. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo again has the details.
The visit by the Governing Council of the National Human Rights Commission is to formally appreciate the President for the trust and confidence reposed in his members, increased budgetary allocation to the Commission for the first time since the return to democracy, and ensuring that its operations and independence are enhanced. Chairperson of the Commission, Dr. Salamatu Suleiman, consequently presented to the Nigerian leader for consideration and approval a draft national action plan for the promotion and protection of human rights in Nigeria.
This draft national action plan is a major fulfillment of Nigeria's international obligations to promote, protect, and fulfill all human rights.
And as host of the Independent Investigative Panel on Human Rights Violation by the defunct SARS, the Commission promised to work with partners within and outside the government to ensure that the reports from all the panels across Nigeria are implemented while addressing bottlenecks impeding access to justice, including police and other institutional reforms.
We pledge our unalloyed commitment to the promotion and protection of human rights under the Nigerian Constitution and other human rights statutes and instruments. The Commission will continue to strive towards the realization of the human rights and rule of law objectives of your administration and in fulfilling Nigeria's international obligations.
President Muhammadu Buhari commended the National Human Rights Commission for being dutifully firm and unwavering in its commitment to the promotion and protection of human rights in the country. He promised government's continued support and assistance to the Commission in the execution of its mandate, which he described as critical to sustainable peace and stability.
I am very pleased that you are on the ground in every state. How I wish people will understand and appreciate the Commission so that I will have less hectic time in government. In your speech, you really emphasize funding. I will try and see within our limited resources what we can honestly do for you.
The National Human Rights Commission Amendment Act 2010 has conferred on the Commission, amongst other powers, to deal with all matters relating to the promotion and protection of human rights as guaranteed by, amongst others, the Nigerian Constitution, the United Nations Charter, and the Universal Declaration on Human Rights. Presently, the United Nations Human Rights Body in particular places Nigeria in Category A of world standing in terms of full compliance with human rights standards globally. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, at the heart of human rights lie the principles and equality and non-discrimination, which the International Human Rights Commission is championing on the occasion of this year's International Human Rights Day. The world body is using the theme of this year, which is equality, to recognize some Nigerians who have distinguished themselves as heroes and champions of human rights. Olabode Arewa reports.
Despite several legal instruments that protect people's rights, such actions are not unusual these days in Nigeria and some other countries of the world. The protection of human rights is again on the front burner, courtesy of the International Human Rights Commission, which appraised efforts to reform the process of granting bail to suspects.
Section 36 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, guarantees to all persons accused of having committed one offense or the other the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty.
A suspected person, or a suspect rather, is arraigned before a court which lacks requisite jurisdiction. By this practice, the person is left in prison or custody without the right to bail and without fair trial.
The recognition of heroes of democracy is coming on the heels of concerns over the non-domestication by states of the administration of Criminal Justice Act of 2015, which is a key legal instrument in ensuring efficient justice delivery.
Use your good office to create a text in the first instance so that we can collect reports of your men who go out there to protect the citizen.
The forum also wants synergy between the prosecuting agencies and the judiciary, thus producing a more acceptable biometric record of Nigerians, which is a key way of identifying suspects. In Abuja, Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has reaffirmed Nigeria's enduring commitment to upholding, promoting, and protecting democratic values and principles. Addressing a virtual global summit on democracy convened by U.S. President Joe Biden, the president said institutions that underpin a resilient democratic society will also be strengthened. He said since coming to power in 2015, his administration has been able to introduce mechanisms to ensure free, fair, and credible elections, while key anti-corruption agencies have also been strengthened. Despite the nation's democratic achievements, President Buhari, however, said Nigeria continues to face the challenge of insecurity, which poses a threat to democracy. He therefore called on global partners to support federal government efforts at tackling insurgency and terrorism. The president assured the world leaders of his commitment to putting in place necessary mechanisms to ensure that Nigeria records another peaceful transfer of power to an elected democratic government by ensuring free, fair, and transparent elections in 2023. The federal government is exploring more ways of achieving technological advancements in the country with the collaboration of a Russian software development company. The Russian team was at the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy. The Permanent Secretary, Beatrice Nabazu, says although there is an existing MOU with the Russian government on different areas of collaborations, there is need for more to be explored.
We have taken ICT as a way to diversify our economy. So you partner with organizations like the Russian Software Trade House will be a welcome development to the nation's economy.
And we're here just to understand how we can help and what do you need. And I'm sure that politically, for both sides, I mean for Nigeria and for Russia, will be very good to show some real, maybe very small, but real steps in our cooperation.
ICT correspondent Joseph Johnson reports that representatives of the parastatals under the ministry also used the interface to mention possible areas of collaboration which included software and hardware capacity building to improve local content. Now, the declaration of cooperation between OPEC member countries and 10 non-OPEC oil-producing countries has clocked 5 against all odds. Lydia Sampson reports on the significance of the new era of the unprecedented cooperation and the global oil industry.
5 years ago in Vienna, Austria, at the OPEC headquarters, OPEC member countries and 10 non-OPEC oil-producing countries embarked on a new era of cooperation to support sustainable stability in the global oil market. Other producers attended the meeting in support of these extraordinary efforts. The part of the Declaration of Cooperation was built on the successful Algiers Accord signed in Algiers, Algeria, at the 170th Extraordinary Meeting of OPEC. OPEC Secretary General Mohammed Sanusi Boykindu said the Declaration of Cooperation is an unprecedented collaborative framework of leading oil producers that saw the need to come together during a critical period in the global oil industry. He applauded the countries and the courageous undertaking, reiterating that but for their boldness, the oil sector will without a doubt be in a different situation. He recalled how in 2016, very few believed that the collaborative effort will grow and evolve into a major robust cooperative force to help restore much-needed stability in the global oil market. The 23 oil-producing countries, OPEC Secretary General says, have continued to rise to the challenges they have encountered, including instrumenting effective and visionary policies to combat the devastating impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. These efforts have supported the global pandemic recovery process and were recognized at the highest levels of government and by international organizations. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
And to speak more on the historic cooperation to support sustainable stability in the global oil market, we have live via Zoom from Vienna, Austria, Dr. Mohammed Sanusi Barakindo, OPEC Secretary General. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Let's start by congratulating you on this milestone. Now it's 5 years of partnership cooperation between member countries and non-OPEC producing countries. Are you proud to have initiated it?
I will say, Alhamdulillah, glory be to God, that these past 5 years we have been able to turn a historic page, not only in the history of OPEC, but in the history of oil by bringing together 24 leading producing and exporting countries to work together to restore stability to the oil market, which had eluded us, if you recall, from 2014 onwards. So what we did on the 10th of December, 5 years ago here in Vienna, was of historic proportions in the sense that for the first time in history, we were able to ink this framework of cooperation that continued to guide us since then. And you can see that when COVID struck last year, we did not have to reinvent the wheel. We relied on this historic framework and continued to work with our partners, take decisions together, implement them together, even monitor the implementation together. And you can see that we have relatively succeeded in restoring this stability.
I believe you were talking more on the concrete impact. Let us find out more, especially in the market, especially in an unconventional period like our new normal.
Yes, your question is quite up. These are unusual times. The last 5 years have been years of turmoil in the energy markets, more especially in 2020, when we saw demand contracted by a massive 20 million barrels a day, which we had never seen in history. And we had seen prices in some of the exchanges plummeting to negative territory for the first time. Therefore, we had to take extraordinary measures, working with our partners in terms of the supply adjustments, which sometimes needed the intervention of our presidents, our heads of state, to give us guidance and to give us the support that we needed very badly during that time. And in terms of the impacts, you can see that the worst is almost over. We had survived 2020 when we saw global economy contracted by about 3.4%. We took this historic decision of adjusting our supply proportionately by about 9.7 million barrels a day, and we continued to meet almost every single month. To date, we have met 16 times via Zoom to ensure that we keep our hands firmly on the steering wheel. Now, for 2022, we project that the recovery will continue. It may be slow and bumpy at times, but the trajectory that we see is that of full recovery to return demand to pre-COVID levels. If you recall, before COVID, this world was consuming an average of about 100 million barrels every single day of crude oil. Now, we project that by 2022, we will return to those levels.
All right. There has been lots of controversy regarding continuity of fossils, renewables, and climate change. Is this likely to affect the status of this new partnership driven by the Declaration of Cooperation?
To the contrary, it's strengthening our resolve to get the narrative right. We were at Glasgow at COP26 of the Climate Summit, in which President Muhammadu Buhari participated actively, and he spoke the minds of OPEC and the non-OPEC producing countries in ensuring that all sources of energy are required not only for now, but for the foreseeable future. While there are no climate deniers in OPEC, including in Nigeria, we fully support the principles of the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, which we participated in crafting, and we also participated in crafting its protocol in Kyoto and the Paris Agreement itself. Therefore, we owe it to the world to ensure that oil and gas continue to be the fuel of choice for the foreseeable future.
All right,
the challenge before us at the moment, it's about curtailing greenhouse gas emissions.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mohammed Sanusi Barakindo, OPEC Secretary General. Thanks indeed for talking to us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now let's tell you that Nigeria's pavilion at the ongoing Dubai Expo 2020 has continued to receive a good share of visitors at the global event, thronging there to have a feel of what Nigeria is showcasing. Anthony Forson reports.
The Dubai Expo 2020 has emerged as the first World Expo where every participating country has its own pavilion. With 190 countries participating, the Nigerian pavilion has been receiving visitors in droves.
We are proud of Adekunle, Salas Adekunle, and also the Rich Education Program as well. And they're absolutely fantastic in building these robots.
The last few hours we were strolling here through the opportunity area, which is very interesting.
It's really amazing to see your pavilion. It's really good stuff all. It's very nice. If I get an opportunity, definitely I'll visit Nigeria.
What is on display, you may ask?
We're trying to bring more made in Nigeria products that we can showcase to the world.
Nigeria's architecture, manufacturing, mining, oil and gas, arts, entertainment and movie are on display.
We've had a lot of high-profile guests who have showed a lot of interest from different countries, particularly the UAE and the Arab world.
With Mr. President's agenda on diversification from oil to non-oil export, we look forward to a kind of connecting and then trying to woo investors back to the country.
Going around the Nigerian pavilion to see what is on display, the Information and Culture Minister, Lai Mohammed, said he never expected anything less.
We are showcasing those huge potentials and achievements of Nigeria in this pavilion. And I'm glad that since we've been here, we've seen a lot of traffic. People have taken a lot of interest in our agricultural products. Many people see for the first time what a Benin seed is. Some are seeing the cocoa pod for the first time, and they are asking questions and they are showing a lot of interest in our agriculture, in our industrial, value chain.
Nigeria's showing at Dubai Expo 2020 is another milestone for the country as a force to be reckoned with on the global stage.
I believe that not only will we overcome all our challenges, but we will be able to be a big player in the League of Nations. Because what we are saying here, either in agriculture or in the industry or in sports or in the creative industry, is that we are a leader already.
The Expo Center is in 3 sub-themes as districts, namely sustainability, mobility, and opportunity, where Nigeria belongs. In Dubai, United Arab Emirates, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
We pause now for some messages. This news continues shortly. Do stay with the NTA.
Easy motion.
Presidential Steering Committee, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Health and the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, has approved the administration of booster doses for persons that have completed 2 doses of AstraZeneca, Moderna, Pfizer-BioNTech, or 1 dose of Johnson & Johnson. The eligibility criteria for a booster dose include any person 18 years and above, time interval of 6 months and more after receiving the 2nd dose of AstraZeneca, Moderna, or Pfizer-BioNTech, time interval of 2 months or more after receiving the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Visit the nearest health facility or mass vaccination site for your booster dose from 10th December 2021 across all states of the Federation. The list of the vaccination sites is available on the NPHCDA website, www.nphcda.gov.ng. For greater protection against COVID-19, go get the booster dose now. For more information, contact the NPHCDA COVID-19 call center on 070 0220 1122 for assistance. This message is from the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency.
The Honorable Minister of Works and Housing, His Excellency Babatunde Raji Fashola, SAN, cordially invites chairmen and members of National Assembly Committees on Works, Federal Executive Council members, state governors, traditional rulers, members of the public, and other stakeholders to the commissioning and handover ceremony of the completed dualized Kano Maiduguri Road Section 2, Shuwarin Azare in Jigawa and Bauchi states by His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Date, Monday, December 13th, 2021. Time, 11 a.m. Venue, Shuwarin, Jigawa State. All invited guests are to be seated by 10 a.m. Please note that all COVID-19 protocols must be adhered to by all guests. Announcer, Babangida Hussaini, Permanent Secretary. Announcer.
This is to announce a special book presentation written by the Executive Governor of Imo State, Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma, the book titled The Reflection of the Igbo Question. This book underlines the governor's thoughts on the existential challenges of Ndigbo in the Nigerian state, including real and perceived marginalization and, most importantly, how best to address the challenges to enable Ndigbo have a fair and due share in the Nigerian project. Date, 11 December 2021. Time, 12 noon. Venue, Ezimo Palace, Mbari Street, Owerri. Chairman of the occasion, General Azubike Ihejurika, retired. Father of the day, Chief Emmanuel Iwayahu. Royal Father of the day, His Royal Majesty, Nnemeka Alfred Achebe, CFR, Obi of Onitsha. Book presenter, Chief Charles Amadi. Book reviewer, Professor Chima Nwanguma, UNN. Signed, Imo State Ministry of Information and Strategy.
The Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy and Chairman of the National Council on Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, invites all council members and stakeholders to the 9th meeting of the National Council on Communications and Digital Economy, NCCDE, which will be declared open and presided over by him on Monday, 13th December 2021. Theme: Utilizing Digital Technology to Accelerate Economic Recovery in a COVID-19 Era and Beyond. The technical sessions of the NCCDE will start tomorrow, Friday, 10th December 2021. Time, 9 a.m. daily. Venue, Naoa Event Center, Mambila Barracks, Asokoro, Abuja. Council members are hereby invited to attend all the sessions preceding the official opening ceremony. Mr. Bitrus Bako Nabasu, Permanent Secretary, Announcer.
Welcome back. How to go to security matters, where President Muhammad Buhari has dispatched a high-level delegation comprising heads of the nation's intelligence and security services to Sokoto and Katsina State in response to the recent spike in bandits' terrorism. The president is expecting an immediate situation report and recommendations on actions to follow to effectively deal with the worrying situation. The delegation, led by the National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Munguno, include the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, the Director General of the DSS, Yusuf Magajibichi, the Director General, National Intelligence Agency, Ambassador Ahmed Rufai Abubakar, and the Chief of Defense Intelligence, Major General Samuel Adebayo. This is coming after the President inaugurated sophisticated Navy ships, patrol boats, and a helicopter at the Naval Dockyard, Victoria Island in Lagos to boost security at the maritime borders. Nigerian Army is launching comprehensive offensives on violent criminals terrorizing different parts of the country. The marching order is coming at the end of the 2021 Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference. Abubakar Akwanga reports.
Let me once again seize this opportunity to advise those fueling crisis in various locations across the country to desist from their unpatriotic act.
Nigeria Army has steadily remained tough on terrorists and other violent criminals undermining national security. This conference by the Chief of Army Staff is compelling key commanders at various theaters of operations on the deployment of other professional military strategy to deal with those terrorists threatening peace and coexistence in the country.
I'm convinced that this conference has provided the much-needed direction towards building capacity of the Nigerian Army to accomplish assigned missions within a joint environment in defense of our dear country. I also want to assure Nigerians that in the coming year, there shall be more visible signs of improved security across the country.
He urged officers and men to always observe rules of engagement and be ruthless to only those who dare the will of the military might. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
In the meantime, a coalition of Buhari support groups in Jigawa State has dissociated itself from the ongoing protest against insecurity in the region, calling on the youth in the state to instead support the efforts of the federal government in addressing the situation. The coalition stated this at a news conference in Dutse, the Jigawa State capital, from where Mohammed Askira reports.
The space of insecurity in parts of northern region is undoubtedly raising concerns for the residents and the governments alike. This has prompted some youth and women groups in some states in the region to take to streets protesting, seeking for more government's efforts in tackling the challenge. But this, according to the coalition of Buhari support groups in Jigawa State, is unbecoming, saying antecedents have shown that such supposed peaceful protests are likely to be hijacked by the hoodlums.
If you are an opposition and you're enjoying what is happening, before you campaign and regain power, all of us are going to be killed. Who are you going to rule? The politicians, irrespective of political party, let them converge. Let them come together. Let them discuss. Let them find a lasting solution to this problem.
He called on all and sundry in the region to see security as everybody's business and therefore work towards complementing the efforts of security agencies by volunteering useful information that will assist the government fight the terrorism better. From Dutse, Muhammad Askira, NTA News.
Away from security matters, the federal government has put in place proper measures aimed at ensuring timely completion of ongoing roads project or construction project across the country. Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, Maryam Yelwaji Katagun, made this known at the inauguration of Section 3 of Kano-Maiduguri Expressway in Bauchi State. Awal Abdullahi reports.
Following the successful completion of the dualization project of Kano-Maiduguri Road, Section 3 along Azare Potiskum in Bauchi and Yobe states, the road is now officially opened for public use. The Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, Maryam Yelwaji Katagum, who performs the inauguration ceremony on behalf of President Muhammadu Buhari, expressed satisfaction with the quality of work done.
As we enter the final lap of the tenure of the Buhari administration, we're also entering a season of completion and delivery of projects. As you can all see, we're handing over today the 104.4 by 2, which is dual kilometers road, including 4 kilometers single carriageway.
I therefore wish to commend the federal government for this effort. I wish to particularly commend the Honorable Minister of Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Rajapaksa, for working tirelessly towards making this road a reality.
The reconstruction of the over 106-kilometer road is expected to boost commercial activities between the northwest and the northeast geopolitical zones of the country. In Bauchi, Awal Abdullahi, NTA News.
As part of efforts on poverty reduction and other challenges in the society, the senator representing Adamawa Central, Aishatu Dahiru Ahmed Binani, is training more than 700 people in various skills to enhance their socio-economic well-being. Nafisatu Dembos has details.
The senator representing Adamawa Central Senatorial Zone, Aishatu Dahiru Ahmed Binani, is keen into the federal government's initiative to lift millions of Nigerians out of poverty through training of people from the grassroots with various skills and empowerment programs. The beneficiaries from several local government areas in Adamawa Central have undergone training on building, welding, tiling, among others, to enable them become self-reliant and productive members of the society.
This is a very good opportunity that we have some of our youth that finish learning work, handwork, that their parents doesn't have the power to showcase and buy their equipment for them to work.
They give this in because of the beneficiary to work, to use to work with it.
She is doing well to us. We are thanking her to do more.
They promise to use the knowledge acquired to the benefit of the society. In Yola, Nafisatu Abdulhamid Dembos, NTA News.
And towards restoring livelihoods of women and youths affected by violent conflicts in Northeast, the National Center for Women Development has trained and empowered 100 women and girls in Borno State on vocational skills of tailoring and catering, as well as 65 youths in Information and Communication Technology, ICT. The graduation was held at Ramat Polytechnic. Jadua John reports.
This 5-day vocational skills training organized by the National Center for Women Development in collaboration with Borno State Government was geared towards equipping the beneficiaries with vast knowledge to foster income generation. Over 150 women, girls and youths from Ganze and Mafa local government areas of Borno State are beneficiaries of this laudable gesture by the National Center for Women Development. Having taken them through various training sessions, the beneficiaries were then presented certificates, grants and starter packs.
This is the 4th or 5th time that Honorable Vilita brought this kind of intervention in Borno State.
Director General and Chief Executive Officer of the Center, Dr. Asabe Vilita Bashir, appreciated President Muhammadu Buhari for matching words with action and assured of more of such interventions in the future.
Gone are the days when women are sit at home and doing nothing. If you are doing very well, we'll introduce you to the loan scheme of the central bank. They will empower, give them more loan so that they can boost their business.
Head of ICT, Johnson Morrison, and Director Training and Development, A.B. Emezwe, expressed satisfaction with the level of assimilation of the beneficiaries and advised them not to sell out their starter packs. In Maiduguri, Jadua John Jesney, NTA News.
We'll take you now to our Lagos studio for more reports from that zone. Adeola will be our guide.
Thank you, Kenny. The United Kingdom is working with some partners to build the capacity of more than 2,000 girls in information technology with a view to ensuring they have access to opportunities in the digital economy in Lagos. Musa Toliat has details.
From the day I started till now, it has been wonderful. Every new day, we get to learn different things.
Victoria Edoziem is a mother of 4 whose dream of becoming ICT savvy is fast becoming a reality courtesy Digital Girls Initiative. Like Victoria, the Digital Initiative is given a new lease of life to many more girls captured in the program. The digital training is one of the benefits of the sustainable partnership between the United Kingdom and Nigeria to address the digital inequality in the country, which currently holds a 15% gender gap against women.
One particular area we want to focus on is digital inclusion. To do exactly what we're doing with the DigiGirls program is to make sure that technology is available not just to those who already can access it quite easily, who have the tools and the money, but those who have the ideas and the potential but don't necessarily have the tools, the skills and the money. So we want to bridge the digital divide.
DigiGirls program is expected to provide basic and intermediate digital skills training to more than 2,000 vulnerable women and girls in the next 6 months. This will include mentorship, internship placements, and entrepreneurship opportunities.
There is a need for us, for the women to be inclusive in these global opportunities.
What we have done is we've designed a program that is targeting women and girls aged 15 to 40 and is looking to improve the socioeconomic well-being of these women and girls by giving them digital skills.
The United Kingdom government believes digital economy can play a major part in actualizing the ambition of the federal government to create 100 million jobs in 10 years. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
If Africa is to foster and accelerate development, the pivotal role of culture and its varied elements in peace building, intensifying relations, and facilitating economic growth must be the focal point of African policy instruments. These were the views of speakers at the 2021 International Conference on Culture organized by the Center for Black and African Arts and Civilization, CBAC, in Lagos.
In recognition of the significance and potential of arts, culture, and heritage in achieving Africa Agenda 2026, objectives of regional integration, inclusive and sustainable economic growth and development, Director General of the Center for Black and African Arts and Civilization, CBAC, said Africans must begin the process to review strategies, synergize and build bridges of development to achieve the Africa desired.
I believe in CBAC that if Africa and indeed peoples of African descent are to realize the vision of the Africa we want, the time to start engaging is now.
Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, represented stressed government's determination to entrench its foreign relations with other countries in Africa through strengthening culture diplomacy. The conference provided opportunity for speakers to discuss and proffer solutions to Africa's lost values.
To reconceptualize Pan-Africanism, take it beyond political ideology to a new level that will promote African overall development. I have the opinion that the cultural and creative industries are the major areas where Africa can actually demonstrate its contribution to human civilization. It is an area where we have comparative advantage.
The theme for the two-day conference is Renaissance of African Culture Elements, Arts, Music, Crafts, Language, Literature, and Folklore. In Lagos, Hingino John Adams, NTA News.
Our next port of call is Sokoto, where Sadia is waiting to give us stories from that zone after this break. Do stay with us.
To repeal the Customs and Excise Management Act, Cap C45, LFN 2004, and to enact an act to establish the Nigeria Customs Service Act 2021. All submissions should be forwarded to Suite 2.01, House of Representatives Building, on or before Monday, 13th December 2021. Public hearing date, 14th December 2021. Venue, Conference Room 028. Time, 11 a.m. Major critical stakeholders to attend are Nigeria Customs Service, NCS, Federal Ministry of Finance, Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Association of Nigeria Licensed Custom Agents, ANLCA, National Association of Government-Approved Freight Forwarders, NAGAF, Nigeria Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, NASIMA, Terminal Operators and Bonded Terminal Operators. Honorable Leki Abejide, Chairman, House Committee on Customs and Excise. Announcer.
The Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Mohammed Mahmoud Abubakar, invites Senate and House Committees on Agriculture and Rural Development, relevant MDAs, development partners, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, and relevant stakeholders to the National Validation Meeting of the Draft National Agricultural Technology and Innovation Policy, NAPTIP, 2022 to 2025. Venue, NAF Conference Center, Kado District, Abuja. Date, Thursday, 16th December 2021. Time, 9 a.m. Please note that regional validation, which started on 24th November, will be completed on 14th December 2021. For further inquiries, contact Zubairu Abdullahi on 0816 000 4732. Dr. Ernest Umakihe, Permanent Secretary, Announcer.
Gender-based violence is a gross violation of women and girls' fundamental human rights.
1 in 5 girls are survivors of female genital mutilation.
Women face inequality in accessing health, education, and human rights.
1
in 3 women suffer gender-based violence?
It is important to provide vital information on gender-based violence.
I called on government, religious, and community leaders to adopt the culture of zero gender-based violence and harmful practices.
Stress you. Call them, then they accessible. Customer care where they on point. You no go regret when you try, of course. Profitable investment. Everything is just a blend. If you know what's good for you, my guy, make you choose premium pension today. Make that switch to premium pension. Premium pension. Make that switch to premium pension.
Join over 700,000 satisfied members and enjoy the premium experience at our offices across the 36 states in Nigeria, including the FCT. Call 094615-700-704 to make the switch today. Premium pension. Active today, premium tomorrow.
There is a saying that Christmas is what you make of it. At Bedmates Furniture, we enjoy making your Christmas comfortable and exciting with the furniture we provide you. That's why from 1st November to 18 December 2021, Bedmates offers you and your loved ones amazing luxury furniture your home loves and truly needs at up to 70% discount. You also stand a chance to win fridges, TVs, washing machines, and many more as we keep making your living better through the furniture you love.
It's exactly 1 year today that this golden heart stopped beating. There is no doubt that the legacies of your good works, humility, intelligence, keenness, instructional ability, generosity, courage, and integrity will be remembered forever. Your life was a blessing, your memory a treasure. You are loved beyond words and missed beyond measure. Keep resting in the bosom of our Lord till we meet to part no more. Fondly remembered, loved, and missed by Elizabeth Olayemi Olu Irefi, wife. Oluwatosin Irefin, daughter. Oluwadolapo Irefin, daughter. Olubumi Abioye Irefin, son. Olanrewaju Akinolu Irefin, son. Siblings and the entire Irefin's family. Olubumi Abioye Irefin, for the family. Announcer.
Still with us on NTA Network News. The federal government has assured Nigerians that it is committed towards bringing banditry and other criminal activities to an end in the country. The National Security Advisor to the President, Major General Babagana Mungunu, stated this when he led a high-powered federal government delegation on condolence visit to Sokoto over the recent bandit attack in the state. Alata Abdullahi reports.
The high-level federal government delegation was led by the National Security Advisor to President Muhammadu Buhari, Major General Babagana Munguno. Other members of the delegation include the Inspector General of Police, Usman Al-Kali Baba, the Director General of the Department of Security Services, Yusuf Magaji Bichi, the Director General, National Intelligence Agency, Ahmad Rufai Abubakar, and the Chief of Defense Intelligence, Major General Samuel Adebayo. The National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Munguno, said the delegation is in Sokoto on the directive of President Muhammadu Buhari to sympathize and condole with the government, the Sultanate Council, and the people of the state over the recent banditry attacks, which claimed several lives in some parts of Sokoto state. He stated that President Muhammadu Buhari was deeply touched by the recent banditry attacks, which led to loss of innocent citizens, assuring that the federal government is committed at ensuring that perpetrators of the heinous act would be apprehended and brought to book.
I want to assure you and the very good people of Sokoto State that my colleagues and I are fully determined to carry out whatever is necessary to bring a closure to this, and in the process make sure that these incidents are brought to the barest minimum. Once again, Your Excellency, please accept on behalf of President Muhammadu Buhari and the federal government of Nigeria his deepest sympathies and
told the federal government delegation that the infiltration of bandits to northwestern states was due to the selection of Zamfara State for the military operations to tackle insecurity, contrary to their advice for simultaneous operations in the states under the zone.
We are with Mr. President 100% as governors of this country in taking every measure required to ensure that we nip this in the bud. There's still need for more synergy, and there's still need for more and more personnel and equipment to go to.
Turnbull thanked the president through the delegation for his urgent show of concern and love to the plight of the people of the state and, by extension, all Nigerians. In Sokoto, Dalat Abdullahi, NTA News.
And that's it from here. More news with Kene right after this break.
For you to tanda for this world, you got to know what's up. Sabi waiting day ground, then start to do your run. Get ginger to sabi every. Because when you fit see the different side of the world, anything they possible. BBC News for Pidgin, make your life better.
Growing up in a big family, there weren't always enough seats at the table, so we started eating on the floor so that we could enjoy our food and cokes together, to remind us that the most important part of any meal is being together.
My tasty jollof queen, #1 jollof chef.
When you start like this, I know it's jollof you want. My husband deserves the best jollof, and so do my kids.
Yeah, ma'am.
Not necessary, dear. I have all the pepper, onion, thyme, curry powder, garlic, ginger, and tomatoes I need in here. Welcome to the new way of making tasty jollof with no stress at all. All I do is pour my oil, add tasty tom jollof mix, fry for 4 minutes, and add water, some salt and seasoning, and finally rice. And my tasty jollof is ready in only 45 minutes.
So tasty. And for my jollof queen,
Tasty Tom Jollof Mix. No stress.
more jollof.
Available in 70, 210, and 400 gram sachets that are easy to open and easy to store.
Confidence is important in life's little moments. Strong teeth can help, even if they get her into trouble sometimes. A great smile is useful to break the ice, and making friends is easier when you know you have fresh breath. I give my family confidence with Pepsodent Triple Protection 123. Its antibacterial action formula gives them cavity protection, white teeth, and fresh breath. The confidence of 3 toothpaste in 1. Pepsodent Triple Protection 123.
How to make a perfect bowl of love? A perfect blend of taste that brings every ingredient to life. The fusion of different spices. The unique aroma that rejuvenates your senses. The heartwarming deliciousness. And the satisfaction that comes from every bite, which makes you say, I love my Indomie.
Does your toothpaste give you complete fresh protection? New Close-Up Toothpaste Complete Fresh Protection takes care of your 5 important oral care needs. It gives you strong teeth, prevents tooth holes, cleans deeply, fights bacteria, and gives you fresh breath. Complete fresh protection from Close-Up.
For those wondering why Schweppes changes look, experience tells us. Change is inevitable. Schweppes, made with over 200 years of experience.
There's a saying that Christmas is what you make of it. At Bedmate Furniture, we enjoy making your Christmas comfortable and exciting with the furniture we provide you. That's why from 1st November to 18 December 2021, Bedmates offers you and your loved ones amazing luxury furniture your home loves and truly needs at